to. Um, Hi. Lighting in here is not great. I'm very pasty and washed out, so I hope you will forgive me for that. Okay, there's a dog down there. She's a little skittish. We haven't talked much. I've Riley, you want to say hi to people? You want to say hi? Say hi. You want to say hi? You want to go get the ball? Go get the ball. Or just stare at it. Sorry. Okay. Right. So, vlogging. Hi. We haven't talked in a while, so I'm going to try and get back a little bit in my vlogging groove, especially now that I have a iPad, which records a little bit better than my iPhone, but is still pretty portable. So, yay! We'll see how that works out. It's a little weird just trying to have a conversation with you guys, since if you've been keeping up with my blog, I really document my life a little too much. We've had some interesting bad things have happened. But I guess today what I really want to she's gonna make this hard. This is Riley. I'm not sure if I already introduced her. She's very sweet and loving. It's my parents' American Eskimo dog. She's very lovely. I wanted to talk a little bit today about grief, and not so much the actual subject as dealing with it, and what this whole experience has sort of taught me about how I deal with it, and maybe if you're she's gonna be the comedy relief here. It's good. We need a little lightheartedness. If she's maybe if someone you know is going through a certain hard time, maybe they might deal with something similar, or they may deal with it in a completely different way. I mean, we talk about the stages of grief, not often, but you know what I mean. But we don't typically talk too much about how we all deal with it differently. One thing I have learned about myself is that anger is something I go to very easily, apparently. Which on some level I knew. I mean, Irish, yay. But I really don't like being pitied. It's one of my biggest pet peeves ever. I hate it. I absolutely loathe it. And while I don't think anyone in my life has really approached me for this whole thing with pity in mind, I have noticed there are certain things that can come off that way. You have to sort of walk the line, or tread very lightly. Language. I can't edit this all out either. But there's a very fine line you have to walk when expressing condolences. And I have learned very quickly not a lot of people quite know what that line is. People who are very loving and very caring and don't think that in any way I'm ungrateful to that, but there's something about the way you approach it. And I think for me, and this might not be the same for you, I know it's not the same for my mom or my sister even, about how they're dealing with this whole situation, but for me, if you offer, if there's anything I can do, that's awesome. That's great. I hate hearing the words "I'm sorry," even though that's really all you can think of to say. I mean, you're trying to express that you don't feel sorry for them, but you're sorry that they have to go through this, and I understand that intellectually, but I hate those words. I hate the words "I'm sorry," because it feels very pitying, and again, intellectually I know it's not, but it's, and I have had a few friends who have continuously reached out. Like, I can do the ones, if there's anything I can do, awesome, boom, leave it at that. If I don't talk to you again about it, proceed as normal. But I have had friends continuously reach out, and I know their heart is in the right place, but oh wow, just really frustrates me. And I never realized how much I pay attention to people's patterns of behavior until something like this happens, because then I start to notice when it shifts, and they're like, "What are you doing? What are you talking about? I always act this way. I always, send you blah, 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 blah to make you laugh or smile." And I'm like, "No, you don't." And it's that weird change of behavior that it feels like pity. So, I guess, hi, you good girl. Yeah, you are. Everyone should have a puppy when dealing with crappy situations. I've decided this. Like, they're awesome. They are truly fantastic. And, I kind of wish I could bring her back with me to Seattle. But I get to go to Oxford, so I guess that's better than a puppy. Not better than a puppy. Nothing's better than a puppy. I'm kidding. It's going to be awesome, and I'm really excited and extremely fortunate to be able to go. And the friend who has allowed me to travel with her is awesome. What was I talking about? Well, because you're watching this, but it'll be after the fact, and I can't stop and rewind because, crap. Oh, yeah, so, it's a little snippet about grief and how some people may deal with it. And so I guess I would say, first of all, and everyone says this, so I apologize for just being, adding to the cliche, mourn however you need to. Like, that is super important. And don't let anyone tell you that that's not okay. Like, I mean, obviously don't harm yourself and et cetera, but if you actually need to be left the hell alone, that is totally okay. Like, frankly, I'm still mulling through it, and I don't want to talk about it. Like, I've occasionally opened up to people out of pure random happenstance, because something about that moment struck me, and I just had to talk about it, and they happened to be in the room. So if say, like, you're a good friend of yours opens up to someone else and it's not you, that's not a slight against you in any way. It's just someone else happened to be there in that exact moment when that person needed to talk. Because frankly, I don't like talking about bad things half the time. I don't. I don't like being pitied, and I don't like, it's just, I don't know. And I'm just blathering on and rambling, but I don't know. I'm hoping maybe if you mourn in a different way, this is sort of giving you a bit of insight on how someone else may be dealing and that you can't wrap your head around. Or maybe if you do mourn the same way I do, you will feel a bit more like, oh, I'm okay to do that. Like, anger's my big thing, apparently. Like, it's just quick as crap. Like, Irish temper, you would not believe. And I usually have a very slow fuse, so to suddenly be dealing with a very, hi sweetie, a very short temper in regards to this is interesting, and I feel constantly on edge, and Oxford will be good. Oxford will be really good. And on a happier note, come here. Fine. She's very skittish. I don't know why. I think she's camera shy, honestly. Because getting her to take any picture is very hard. But on a happier note, in regards to Oxford, which will be awesome, I wasn't sure when I was going to have time to knuckle back down on Alys, and I will be there for a week, and I won't have cell reception. I'm not sure how much internet connection I will have, so I will be sort of in the hometown of the original Alice in Wonderland. You know, that's where Lewis Carroll was teaching and where he wrote it. Alice Little's father is even buried there, and then there's the keyhole that I'm going to go see, maybe get a picture by, make it my author picture or something, I don't know, because I'm a big dork. But yeah, so I'm going to have at least, because my friend, she's actually going up there for business, so I'll have at least 8 hours a day when I'm up there to write. And I could not be more excited about that, to just put the rest of the world out of my mind and relax and sort of put this whole funeral chaos and whatever behind me. Or not behind me, but just at least out of my mind for a little bit, because it does never get better, and I know that. Like, it gets better, but you never get over it, and I understand that, but, and one last thing to those of you who have been extremely supportive, thank you, and to those of you who didn't know, or obviously him, or don't know me personally, who've still been very, very positive and loving, thank you. You guys are awesome, and you make me smile. Oh, that's one more thing I want to add, actually, really quickly. In lieu of all of these events, not that I wasn't going to do it anyway, but when I get back, I'm going to try starting back up the Happy Thought Project, which had been going kind of strong a few months ago, but then I let it sort of fall to the wayside as more projects piled on, but I have a sort of renewed vigor for it. I'm not even sure if that's the right word for the situation, but that will be coming back. And for those of you who don't know what the Happy Thought Project is, I'll be trying to post a link explaining. It's basically, it's like a happy version of Post Secret, I guess, where you anonymously, I don't know, post pictures, stories, or snippets, essentially about something that just makes you smile or laugh, and I'm going to try and put it all into one big book at some point, and all proceeds would be going to the Crisis Center in Seattle. Hi, Riley. To, you know, help out and whatnot. But I'm really going longer than I should have, or that I want to, because videos should be short. But we haven't talked in a while, so I'm going to just leave it at that. You guys have an awesome time, and depending on what my internet situation is across the pond, I will maybe talk to you later in the week and give you an update on how I'm doing, or maybe just some videos of as I wander around Oxford. So I love you guys. You're awesome. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Bye.